Yo guys, Coach Theo here on Common Sense. I've been meaning to do a video about so-called Looksmaxxing for quite some time now, and I happened to see a few clips about this kid, Clavicular, and well, I'd prefer to title a video like this, Looksmaxxing is gay, but the algorithm is also gay, so I'll probably stick with something a bit more algorithm friendly. To me, it's a very obvious sign that our society is declining when a thing like Looksmaxxing even is a thing at all, especially for men, you know. I think the stuff women do to try to enhance their appearance these days is pretty messed up too. I don't think it enhances it in any way. You know, putting plastic in different places in your body, foreign objects, freaking plastic in your body, surgery like that, and whatever else they do, I think you're destroying yourself and poisoning yourself, and it makes you less attractive to me. But yeah, even when men do it, you know, it's still more in the female nature to put more effort into amplifying the outer appearance in that way. You know, a bit of makeup, putting more effort into some kind of hairstyle, and probably more effort into the clothing as well. If you as a man do more than really like work out, dress okay, you know, maybe have a haircut and, you know, groom your beard a little bit. Clearly I do neither of those, especially not the hair. But, you know, and then just be fucking clean. Don't be dirty. Don't be like a complete slob, right? Nothing more is really necessary. It's really quite godless, this practice of just pursuing the surface only. You know, it's not that looks aren't a thing at all. It's just that it isn't at all the single thing about, or the main thing about the person, even when it comes to attraction, and also it isn't an isolated thing. The outer appearance reflects something about the inside of a person to an extent. Of course we have our genes, we have certain traits, like how tall we are and hair color and so on, right? But yeah, I'm gonna make some points around this. So, I mean, I think this Clavicular kid is an example of just how godless and like, you know, I don't even dislike the kid. I can see myself in him to a degree, you know. But this sort of society where with the extreme technological development and social media and stuff, it's very easy to just focus on the surface, but then also all kinds of ideas that get spread to us through, well, mainstream media, social media, but popular culture, right? This is a kid, I think he's 19 or 20 years old, that looks good if we're gonna just judge it like on the surface like that. I think I heard him say that he's been on steroids from like 16 years old, different, you know, steroids. He has an extremely mid physique for this, you know. It's kind of a joke. And, you know, I think he's taking other things that I don't even know about to stay like lean and shit, right? And I heard him talk about wanting to do some kind of, you know, facial cheekbones surgery, you know, and wanting to do even the fucking making yourself taller surgery. I think he was 6'2", he's like a tall guy, handsome guy, and he thinks it's it's something he should care about. To fucking artificially go in and chopping and changing stuff in yourself like that. And I heard a guy talk about, you know, hating the gym, right? Wanting to be in there as little as possible, relying on steroids as much as possible, and doing as little work as you have. You know, and it's really what I say again, because he's clearly a smart kid. He has figured out how to do all these things well. He's not dumb, but he lacks morals and values, you know. It's this thing of pursuing what's like cool and high status and fun only, you know. Like, because the reason really why a fit body, for instance, is supposed to be appealing, or why it is attractive, not just sexually, right? Why it's like sort of a symbol of status. It's not just like, oh, it's a pretty surface. Oh, it's something that's just pretty. It's because you know that this it's an embodiment, it's a manifestation of being disciplined and being healthy and being strong, you know. But so much these days, like, we're trying to disconnect. I just want the, you know, sort of the, what is the receipt of that, the surface expression of that. I want to imitate while not actually being healthy, strong, or disciplined. And the thing is, apart from like some of these things being actually dangerous, like, you know, you can build a muscular, good-looking body without steroids. But if you take steroids, even if you don't get a good physique because you're lazy in the gym, you're hurting yourself, right? And just doing like expensive and possibly like dangerous surgery, like there's no fucking need to do. Do you think God made a mistake when he created your face or chose your height? You know, especially that height surgery. Some of the people that did that, they have had not nice consequence. You have to be careful so it doesn't break. However they do that even, you know. I don't remember how they do it now. Cut out some part, like saw off the bones, lengthen them. It's like, it's insane, you know. And the thing is that it doesn't even work in the sense that you will, if you think that your appearance is really important for status or for attracting someone, that will be the reflection you get in life, okay? You will notice being rejected because of the way you look, and the people that you actually attract, they will like you only for this shallow expression of you. And because this is how it goes, okay, the world is a mirror, they will also be shallow looks that think that all they have to bring to the table is looks, you know. This fakeness, it can only fool other fake people. I know this, okay, because I've never been like, I never considered like surgery or anything like that, but I've been way more focused on my appearance, that's something that, you know, is important to attract girls and so on, right? And well, I myself then try to put on it's not, because that's the thing, the appearance, the outer appearance, it can be kind of a literal surface, but it's about putting up a surface at all, you know, trying to make yourself out to be something. See, I dress nice, or I imitate this in this sort of way, I carry myself in a way that I think is cool and cocky, or whatever, you know. And the thing is, that will only work on other people that are doing something the same, you know. Do you know that I used to, when I was godless, right? And I don't think of it this way, that the external is a manifestation of the internal. Like a healthy, fit body, that's the externalization of something good internally. A body of someone doing fucking surgery, and putting a shit ton of products in their face and stuff, you know, that's the external manifestation of someone that's really broken and insecure on the inside, trying to compensate on the outside like this. But so when I was godless, right, completely, and myself was someone that tried to put up a certain front, right, I was actually, back in the day, I would say that the like archetype of the girl appearance that I was drawn to was a sort of porn star look, you know, blonde, I'm Swedish, you know, lots of makeup, even silicone boobs, you know. I was fully aware that these are fake, they are exploiting my biology, but I also don't care, because I am just a creature, and you know, I like the feeling, I like getting fooled like this. While now, these girls that would look like that, I mean, they could be nice, of course, but they'd most likely not be interesting to me at all, because I just see the little girl that thinks she is not worthy unless she doesn't look a certain way, is trying to overcompensate with all these shallow. There's so many people, but both guys that I wasn't like attracted to, but you know, thought were cool or something, that now when I'm actually much more secure within myself, and generally, of course, all of us, no one is like 100% authentic at all time, but generally just walk around as myself, not trying to be anything else than I am. I pick up on so easily, even from people I used to know. Like, I thought this girl was hot, or I thought this guy was like cool or something, because now I see so clearly the insecurity written all over this kind of person, right? So you see what I mean? It's a clearly unhealthy thing to be engaged in. Like, quite literally, some of the things you do have direct unhealthy outcomes they can have, right? But it doesn't even work. You know, imagine that, being someone like this Clavicular guy, right? Of course it's gonna be like, but see how much fame he has, and oh, there are girls are around him and stuff. Yeah, but the thing is, it's kind of an ego trip you're on for a while, but do you think that's nice, you know? You make yourself out there, I'm this Looksmaxxing guy, I'm this cool, popular guy in this way. That's what you're gonna be appreciated. People are gonna like you for this fucking shallow surface that has nothing to do with who you are in your heart and soul, you know. It's an ego trip you can be on for a certain time, but at a point you're gonna realize that no one fucking wants me for me. They want me for all these fucking shallow attributes that really have very little to do with who I am, right? And I guess because I can make many videos on a related topic, guys, it was quite interesting when my most famous video that got viral, an old video that got viral, the women were being ripped, taught me about women, right? That got viral 1.5 years ago or so, and I did some follow-up videos from that. Among one of them, Women Who Don't Want Me Are Insane, which isn't as famous, but the meme that was made from that video, even more famous. The fucking screenshot taken out of context, posted everywhere. You know, have fun at my expense, but why did you remove my name? You know, I want credit. But yeah, what I noticed from posting these videos, how so many guys, that particular video, I remember making that point that so many guys, when I even talk about women, or what do they like, what do they think about muscle, and I keep doing my point that it isn't really about the muscle. Generally, yeah, being fitter, I mean, you're gonna, just on the surface before someone even knows you, you're gonna catch, easier to notice, and you're gonna look good in that way. But it's really more who you are, that you start if you pursue it for you, I want to be strong, healthy, disciplined, and you embody this, that I feel good about myself, and I walk around with this sort of energy about myself, and I then look fit. That, of course it's going to make you attractive, but it's not like the body in and of itself, right? If you think that I don't look good enough, I need to get fit to look good enough so that women will like me. If you even manage to improve your physique, but you walk around like this, like, see, will girls like me now? You will ooze that also. They're like, oh, am I worthy enough now? I'm still insecure. I'm hoping the shallow change that I did will make a difference. You see, I always come back to this point, and in the end, you and how you present yourself, how you feel about yourself, the energy, that's what it's all about, really. And I was so surprised to see how many guys are so hung up on, the body doesn't matter, it's all about the face, or you gotta be tall, or you gotta make money, It's so clear, because some people, they really come saying something as if this is the one and only truth. And it's like, well, that's your belief, and because you're walking around believing this so stubbornly, that's going to be what you see. If you think women, you need money to get women, and you pursue money for the sake of getting women, well, you're going to notice that women that want you for your money is around, That's how it works. While if you don't accept that, it's like, nah, I make money for completely different reasons, Either for this, or it's just a side effect of me being on this quest, providing the service that I make money from. And of course, I might want to be able to provide for a woman, but if she thinks she can just be pretty and trade that for my money, so no, go somewhere else. You're going to attract a completely different person, right? But so that was very interesting to me. I think many guys said it was also about the looks, the face and height and shit. And the thing is, guys, girls could have even a preference before, when you talk to them, just when they have no one in the room, they don't want, I want a tall guy, for instance, or I want this and that. But the thing is that, two things, if you're actually attractive, if you actually like yourself, you feel proud of yourself, you know that you live according to your values, that you generally content about yourself, and you know that you are high value, that someone would be lucky to be with you, not from an arrogant sense, it's just like, yeah, I'm good, I deserve someone good, and I will be good to them, right? Well, if you go exuding this sort of energy, many girls that would say, when they, outside of meeting you before, would say, oh, I want a guy that's a certain height. Well, if you would be shorter than, they wouldn't care. I promise you, they would not care. And the last thing is, okay, yes, we have to take a little break, because it's a freaking flight alarm rehearsal or whatever, so we gotta chill a little. Okay, so first of all, your height won't even matter in the end if you're actually an attractive guy. Like a man, attractive man, identify with more than your freaking body. It just happens to be the place where you live and operate from, but you're a person, right? But the second thing is that even if a girl, if you feel this way about yourself, and a girl would be like, well, you're kind of cool and this and that, but you're not tall enough for me. Do you know what my response would be to something like that? It's like, well, you're clearly not for me at all. You think you rejected me. You self-rejected. What fucking moron would reject me for my height? If you think I'm, if you actually get who I am, you're a fucking moron to reject me for my height or my face, right? The face doesn't matter either. I know I've got to do that video too, but the black-pilled guys really think that looks matter so much. And specifically the face. And, before you watching say anything, I'm on this channel, I get people treating me as if I'm like the 10 out of 10 most beautiful, just even with a face that one could possibly be, and people that tell me that I have an ugly face, look like an old woman, and that the body doesn't matter with that face and shit. So it's like, don't think that on whether side you are, don't think, again, people say things as if they think they can see some objective truth, but the point is, my experience has never been like, oh, I'm super ugly. Not that I've been super pretty, good looking either. But what I realize is just that when you take good care of yourself overall, you feel good about yourself and you pursue being a good version of you, it's like you're going to be good looking enough. Okay, that's what I mean, that it's not like looks isn't, like, even when you try to isolate it, if you are taller and have the more like traditional high cheekbones and shit, it's like, yeah, it's probably gonna be easier for you to get attention from girls in the first place. But again, even that person that didn't do all this like surgery and shit we're talking about, they might also end up feeling like, does anyone even want me for me? You know? And I think honestly, I mean, I'm sure some people have just been misled, but honestly, it's an easy way out. Excuse. Fucking victim mindset to be like, oh, you know, women, they only care about a face, right? So poor me, you know, I'm an incel now. If I had a different face though, things would be different. Maybe you're just fucking terrible, you know, maybe you don't bring anything of value or interest to the table whatsoever. Have you ever considered that? Have you tried to just be your best, work out, like eat healthy, sleep well, you know, it's like be on a fucking serious mission somehow, work or study, whatever, do something useful. It's like, I promise you, even someone... You see what I'm saying? Of course, you could be luckier in the looks department or something, but it's still in the end, if you just fucking become a great version of you, it's not gonna really matter, you know? Maybe if you're a shorter guy or something, it would never be like the extreme degree of attention some super long, very pretty boy kind of person would get, but does that matter, you know? Does it really matter in the end? And honestly, I've seen both in my life. I've seen people... like guys that look very good, but just are insecure and kind of timid. And then it wasn't just all that many girls for them. I was also one of the guys that I thought about going into this video, that I know that like, it was just the most obviously popular with girls I've ever known. He was not the traditionally good-looking guy, you know. He was kind of on the fatter side, you know, not just fat, like I guess he was kind of strong, but still fat, not tall, right? Not tall, but it was just the entire way he was with girls. He was very confident, he was funny, right? And now, of course, I don't think pursuing, like, because he was a guy that back in the day hooked up, like slept with a lot of women, right? Now, I don't think that's something a good man should take part in, but clearly, you know, the guy that wants to sleep around and is successful is still like, you know, it's like the only thing worse is wanting to sleep around but not being able to, right? You see, it says something about you, right? Clearly he didn't have to be the pretty boy, right? He could be fat and not very tall and be pulling all these women, right? And have you also noticed that even with girls, you might think that there are certain things that are like, you think are the most pretty on a girl, but you ever experienced just kind of randomly feeling the spark with some girl that at first glance you wouldn't think she was the like most beautiful you've seen? Have you also experienced the opposite, that when you like are like, I can think of it back in the day when I had a certain idea of what I think is a beautiful girl, and then when you actually manage to like hook up and you're gonna sleep with her and stuff, it's like wasn't even all that much chemistry there, right? And that's a beautiful thing. When you just go for you, you're gonna kind of, people that aren't for you are kind of self-rejecting themselves. You know, flip the script. Don't think, that's also a very sad thing to see about guys. Like complaining about women's standards, like about height and shit and that. But still it's like you kind of accept it, you know, you accept it as truth. Instead of, because if there's like I just told you, if a girl would like reject, I guess, me for her height, I can't even see it as her rejecting me. I think it's moronic. It's like, because I'm not very tall, right? I'm like 177 centimeters. In Sweden, that's like below average. But still, it's like, well, okay, is that what you value in a person, their fucking height? It's like, okay, clearly we're not a match. It's like, go away, right? So flip the script, guys. But yeah, you're gonna make these people kind of self-reject, and you're gonna be extremely attracted to who is actually for you, you know, when you just embrace you, right? And you're going to, whoever you get drawn to, as a consequence of that also, you're going to find them. That's the thing. I've made videos talking about like women don't meet my standards and stuff, but you know, who is 10 out of 10, it's not an objective thing. Who is 10 out of 10 out of you, it's going to be quite unique for you. You're going to think they're the most beautiful person in the world, and they're going to think that about you, right? But our society is freaking sick, extremely shallow. People are lost, they have no identity. So people really think that a fucking thing like their face or like hair or height and shit matters, right? It's like, it just doesn't really, you know. Me, it's like I play with, you know, I've grown my hair because it's kind of funny. Do you know that this is more attractive than what kind of hairstyle I pick in the end? It's more attractive that I don't really give a shit what anyone else thinks about it, you know. I just want to grow it long now. I think it's kind of wild and funny. It's not that I think necessarily that this would be the prettiest haircut I can have, but just that entire vibe in, well, I don't give a shit. If someone rejects me, if my hair is the most interesting part about me for them, well, they're not interesting to me, you know. So you see, your attitude, where you're coming at from things, that's way more important in the end, guys. I guess if I am to summarize, you know, the looks matter, but again, they're supposed to be manifestation of something else, not just fucking imitation, not just the surface. It should come from within. And that's why I always talk about, I pursue bodybuilding and I love building a beautiful, good-looking physique, but it's a very different thing. You're actually building something that takes hard work, effort. I'm not doing it still to try to be pretty for other people. It's about me. It's only about me, you know. And would you see what I mean? That if you eat healthy, you sleep well, you train well, do whatever. I mean, I sauna, I cold shower a little bit, you know, cold plunge sometimes. You know, my hair is healthier. I have thick hair genetically, but I have better hair quality than ever because of this. I have better skin quality. You have a sort of like just higher energy in your eyes. My body looks great, and I feel good about myself, both like emotionally from all of this. You know, I like myself because of what I do. But I also have higher energy from being healthier, you know, feel better. Of course I'm gonna be, like, look better, be more attractive, but you see how little it really has to do with the actual look. That's just a manifestation of being that person, okay? So yeah, guys, that's it for this one. Please like and comment. I mean, I don't know, it depends on if this gets picked up, but I'm sure some people are gonna lecture me on how looks matter, and I don't know, it's like ridiculous. You can choose to believe and live in that reality. I've transcended it a long time ago, you know. I'm the most chaddiest Chad that I know. I do not give a shit what anyone else thinks about that. They can keep self-rejecting themselves from me, and I already have my girl that I think is the best ever. I don't want anyone else. It's like, this is how I want you to feel about yourself. It's like, yeah, let's end it there. Like and comment. I do holistic bodybuilding coaching, getting jacked and stacked, mentally, physically, spiritually, working on ourselves, body, mind, and soul, becoming that person. It's person building, building a jacked and stacked person that looks great as a natural extension of that. So if you're interested, you can send me a DM on Instagram or email me. It's in the description below. You can pick up my training book. Everything training, mindset, philosophy related you need in order to become a self-reliant, jacked and stacked individual. You can pick up my consistent King course, very much focused on becoming that character that does all these things, okay? Please subscribe for more content about fitness, fast losing weight, building muscle, self-improvement, stoicism, mental health, philosophy, spirituality, mindset. It is a mindset, guys. Looksmaxxing is gay. Just fucking be you, okay? Peace.